Agud Voch Rabbi Sai. Rabbi Sai, we're starting a brand new Mishnah. Hashoichet is a Mesukenes. Mesukenes, and we're going to be talking about this Mesukenes. Mesukenes is an animal that's about to die. Three shittas over here. Let's even show it over here. Actually, it's not over here. It's on tomorrow's daf. I put it together. Three shittas. Shitta number one is Ashtefarkis biyad uberegel. So, I'll just show you this for a second. Biyad uberegel. The hand, the front, the foreleg, and the hind leg. You need, according to Rabbi Shimon, both. Very chumra dikashita. You need both moving. Now, if you're a little sensitive to this kind of stuff, maybe you don't have to look. Boisa hayoim. That day that we did the shechita, mamish, it's getting further and further. It's within the week. So here is the actual pirkus. After the animal is shechted, here's the pirkus. It is Harav Agoyin, Reb Amitai ben David explaining it.
שנייה, הנה, תראו את הפרקוס. אתם רואים? זה הפרקוס. זה הפרקוס. בבהמה דקה היא צריכה לחופף ולפשוט את היד הקדמית, או רגל אחורית מספיק או לחופף או לפשוט.
He said either or, but that's the next sheet. That's the final.
עושה את שניהם.
You can even see the tail moving. That's the kishkush.
כן, כן, זה הפרקוס. אתם רואים? יפה.
Did you guys know that Reuven is a shoichet? That's why he's very interested over there with the phone. Those kids are very interested in the picture. Okay, so that's pirkus. What's the idea? The idea is as follows. If you shecht a mesukenes, you shecht an animal that's about to die, perhaps she didn't make it through the shechita. She died during the shechita. That's not good. You need that there should be a little bit of life towards the end of the shechita, even after we're done with the shechita, a little bit of life. It's enough. In other words, it seems like he's being more makel. You don't need her to move a hand and a foot. It's enough if a spritz of blood comes out of her neck and it hits her neck, basically. It goes all over her neck. Omer Reb Shimon, hashoichet belayla of a person shechs a mesukenes at night. Now you're not supposed to really shecht at night unless there's lights, we said. But at night it's not a good time to shecht. And if this animal is a mesukenes, she's about to die, you shecht at night, how are you going to know if she moved a hand or a foot? And the following day, you find, according to this pshat, we're learning the pshat, ksolim means the neck, and you see that the neck is full of blood, and not just like a drip down, it's sprayed everywhere. Ksheira. Then I know that this animal was not a mesukenes, because otherwise she wouldn't have the power to spray the blood out like that. Shezinka, because there was a flow of blood, a strong flow of blood. Ukimi, that's Rebbe Eliezer. And the Rebbe Eliezer is the one that said, Dayom zinka, it's enough if there's a spray of blood. That's what Rabbi Amitai ben David said. It's enough, either or. You don't need like the Tanakama or Shimon Gamliel, you need the animal to bend both the hand and the foot, or either or. If it would wag its tail, that's enough. Whether it's a small animal, it's a large animal, both of them need pirkus. They need to prove that they had some life at the end of the shechita. But the Mishnah is going to explain what that means. Not every time do you need pirkus. When you have a small animal like a goat, a sheep, who made her hand go straight, but did not bend it back, psula. The same exact thing, if a behema gasa, a cow, goes like this, that's enough proof that there's life. It's only a small animal. Behema daka. Shepashta yada. She'eina elo itzas nefesh bilvad. Because moving a hand from a bent position to a straight position, that's normal from when the neshama goes out, but it's not an indication of life. That's only when this animal, we know that she's a dying animal, she's a mesuken. Like our sheep that we had the other day, the Mishnah says it's not necessary. She's a healthy animal. Even if you don't have a simon of pirkos, that's kosher. Says the Gemara, Mesukenes memay desharia. How do we know that an animal that is about to die and you run and you shecht it real quickly before it dies, that's considered a good shechita and it's okay? Ask the Gemara, I love this. You're asking me, how do you know it's okay? How do you know it's aser? It's aser. So I'll tell you why I think it could be aser, and then we're going to have to prove why it's mutter. I'm going to tell you why I think it's aser. It's not really aser, because in fact it is mutter. If you could prove that she had life at the end of the shechita, a little after the shechita, then it's mutter, even if she was a mesukenes. But I'll tell you why I thought it's aser. And therefore I'm going to have to prove why it's mutter. The reason why I think it's aser, this is the alive, not a chaya. You could learn as chaya as like a wild beast, but a chaya. This is the chaya that you can eat. You could also learn it as it has life. And this mesukenes, like that, Talmud Chacham was saying before, 12 months, it doesn't have life. So we're going to try now a few different reasons to tell me that you're allowed to eat a mesukenes. The Torah says don't eat a nevela. Nevela is an animal that died natural death. Only after it dies on its own without a shechita, then you're not allowed to eat it. But if you shechted it and then it died, then it should be okay. Because if in fact an animal who's about to die, and even if you shechted it is aser because of zois achaya, maybe you'll say it's mamish a pasuk, it's achaya. So then why do I need a pasuk for nevela? Even a live animal who's about to die is aser to eat, so certainly a nevela. Says Gemara, you're right. Maybe maybe there's a pasuk that says you're not allowed to eat a mesukenes, and there's a pasuk that says you're not allowed to eat a nevela, but you'd get an extra lab if you eat a mesukenes. If you eat a mesukenes, it's what's the lashon over there? So that's with lav number one, and lav number two is that it's a nevela. Just to be moist of another lab. Says Gemara, the animal dies, and then it's also been nevela. The Torah says kiyamos, then you have an nevela. It had to die. You can't tell me that every mesukenes is a nevela when the Torah says mefurish that the nevela died. Maybe perhaps the nevela and mesukenes are the same thing. Just so then why do I have two psukim? It's different. When it's alive, it's not pshat. You get two isur. You get the isur. Yeah, it is two. You get the isur of it being alive. You get a nasei, not alive. La'achar misa b'lav. So after it dies, you get the asay, the isur of eating a mesukenes. Plus, I'll add a little bit of a lav of a nevela. So Lamaisa, how do I know that a mesukenes is mutter? Maybe a mesukenes is aser, and in fact it's a isur asay to eat it. Ella, I'm going to try again. Torah tells us don't eat a treifa. Only a treifa you shouldn't eat. What's a treifa? Missing a limb. It has a hole in the heart. Whatever it is, it has treifa. Michlal seems like mesukenes sharia. It's a whole animal, completely good. Just what? It's about to die. If you tell me that a mesukenes is aser, hashem mesukenes lo mechasra asiro. So from the fact that the Torah says don't eat a treifa, it seems like that Msukenes, she's only about to die, then it's mutter. Because in fact, even a about to die animal is asur. Nothing's missing from her body. She's just about to die. Imagine this goat that was about to die after childbirth, whatever you call it, birth. How do you? A kid birth, exactly. A kid birth. Nothing's missing from her body. She's dying. So treifa mibaya. This treifa, which by the way, every treifa is msukenes betzem. So certainly a treifa should be. So then why did the Torah have to tell me don't eat a treifa if it's already included in a msukenes? Msukenes is better off than a treifa, and a msukenes is asur. Nothing's missing from its body. So certainly a treifa, like we had the picture the other day of the animal that's missing a whole thigh. It's a treifa. Says Gemara, okay, same question that I had before, but then I treifa had msukenes. You're right. Maybe treifa is msukenes and msukenes is a treifa. So then why did the Torah give me one pasuk for msukenes and one pasuk for a treifa? To be over, the msukenes will be over on two things. If the animal's a msukenes, so you're over on that say, and also loisase. If it's only a treifa, you're over on the loisase. So then why does the Torah say talk about a nevela? If this is msukenes, yoiver and alav and asay, lachamisa mabaya. Certainly, after misa, it's mutter. So mele msukenes is mutter, and here's your raya that msuken is mutter. V'duma hainu nevela hainu treifa hainu msukenes. Who told you? No, maybe there's something called a nevela, but it's really a nevela and a treifa is the same thing, and msukenes is the same. All three are the same. So then why is the Torah talking about a treifa? Why is the Torah talking about a nevela? Why is the Torah talking about a msukenes? To be over on 2 lavim plus 1 asay. That's what this 3 psukim. Okay, so we need a source to tell us that a msukin is mutter. An animal is about to die, you shecht it, you're okay, provided it does pirkus. So starting all over again. Elo mahacha. It says in the pasuk, v'chelev nevela, v'chelev treifa, yeyasel chol malacha. It says that you're permitted to use the fats of an avela, the fats of a treifa. Also, we saw by the shechita, he showed us all the different fats that are mutter, that are asur. Most of them are asur. Different body parts around the kidneys, around there's fats everywhere. We had that blanket, the nice blanket that's on the bottom of the animal. It's like a beautiful blanket. You put it over the head, the cut part of the head. And here's that pasuk that tells us that you're permitted to do all melacha with this chaylev, meaning it doesn't give off tumah. I'm assuming that we learn from here it doesn't give off tumah because the Torah says the word chaylev twice. Notice the chaylev nevela, the chaylev of an animal that drops dead. The chaylev treifa, an animal that had an existing problem that we're going to have in just a few days. Elu treifa is what consists of treifa. You're allowed to do any melacha. You should not eat from it. Why does the Torah have to say it again? Why? Here it says Mefurish in the pasuk over here in Perek Gimel pasuk Yud Zayin. Kol chaylev b'chol dam l'sechaylev. It already says you're not allowed to eat chaylev in the Torah. So why does the Torah repeat itself and shouldn't eat chaylev? It's an extra pasuk. Omra Torah Yovei Isser Nevela v'Yochel Al Isser Chaylev. There's a famous concept in the Torah called Ein Isser Chalal Isser. You can't have one Isser that goes on top of another Isser. Usually, right? There's exceptions to the rule. But over here, the Torah is telling you that the Isser of Nevela should apply itself on top of the Isser Chaylev. Chaylev comes first. Why does Chaylev come first? Because every animal is born with the Chaylev. And the Torah says that when it dies as a Nevela, I'm going to add another Isser of Nevela on top of the Chaylev. And and the Isser of Treifa should apply itself to the Isser of Chaylev. Now, there's two ways to learn Treifa. Treifa could either mean an animal who's complete, and we're trying to say that it means even a Mesuken is complete, nothing wrong with it, or a Treifa that we understood up until this point, that means it's missing something. So says the Gemara, if a Mesukenes and a treifa are one of the same, in other words, it means even the guy on the right, the guy that's not missing anything. Everything is fine. He's just about to die. He's on his last breath. So then the Gemara is saying then there's no point of the Torah talking about an Avela. Why? There's a kolchkin here. If an animal is considered a treifa, a mesukin is considered a treifa, even nothing's wrong with it. So just tell me the halacha that you're allowed to do any malacha with nevela, with the chaylev, meaning it's not metama. And then the chaylev treifa lo yisichlu. And then just tell me another part of the pasuk that the treifa that's mesukin, you can't eat. And I'll know. And when it's alive and it's in the wheelchair, it's about to die, it's considered a treifa. And that isur treifa goes on top of this chaylev. It's all good. You get two isurim. And certainly after it dies. The Torah says about not eating. Don't eat this nevela. The Torah repeated itself. To tell you, to teach you that treifa and mesukin are not the same. Otherwise, you could have learned that of the kavachomer. And memela what? Animal that's mesukin, you're allowed to eat. If you shecht it and it moves its hand or its leg after shchita, then you're good. Maybe perhaps it's one of the same. He asked me, why did the Torah have to say it? They can learn kavachomer. No. Perhaps there is an avela in the Torah that has nothing to do with the mesukanis. That what? Yeah? Where's the gistera thing? Check this out. What? See. Now, why did the saw stop there? I asked Yoshi to stop it there. Why? Because the Gemara says this gistera is an avela. It wasn't sick at all before it died. So the Gemara says, what do you mean it wasn't sick before it died? Because it's considered an avela right away. What do you mean it happened right away? But as the saw was going through its body, at this point, let's do it again. In slow motion, it cut it. And at that point, it was very, very sick. And only afterwards, here, at this point, that's a slow motion, yeah? Now it's a gistera. Okay, so that's a gistera. But before it became a gistera, the only way you could cut an animal in half is if you cut it in a quarter. Like, you have to go through it. And once you go through it, you just start. You're ready. Made it extremely sick. I'll prove to you again that a mesukin is mutter. We're trying the whole day today, we're trying to figure out how do you know that an animal that's about to die, you're allowed to eat it. Why did the Torah say the word chaylev twice in the same pasuk? Zui she'in chel b'chol mibsara. There's a treifa, only a treifa, has two yisurim. And this is the source that tells us that there's something called a mesukanis, and its meat is mutter, and you're not allowed to eat its chaylev. You don't have two yisurim. In another source, macha. Oh, so over here, this is mamash agadata. Seriously, HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells Yecheskel that he should take a brick, lay on his left side, I think it was, for 390 days. Don't move. You can't turn over. No, lay like that. Then lay on your right side for 90 days. I don't remember the exact days. 40 days. And then the entire time you have to eat very, very low calories, very low, like 200 calories a day or something. Bread made out of gross stuff, like beans and stuff, but also the fire has to be on human waste. That's the coals. The coals are human waste. You can imagine, not very geschmack. So Yechezkel tells the Rebbeinu Shalom, when he's done with this, he says, Vo'imar, I said, Aha Hashem Elokim, Hine nafshi lo metumah. I didn't become Tameh. Now the question right away is, what do you mean I didn't become Tameh? What's the big, they say in Yiddish, what's the große Glick? Like what's the big deal? He didn't become Tameh. He's a Kohen. A Kohen is also for him to become Tameh. And then we go weiter. Unevelo treifel lo yichalti menurai v'adato. Unevelo treifel lo yichalti menurai. I didn't even eat treif. Again, what's the big glick? He didn't eat treif. V'lo ba b'fi b'sar pigul. You know, I didn't eat any meat that the Kohen had a thought that he's going to eat it outside of the time that he's allowed to eat it. Usually a Kohen can eat, let's say, 2 days. The Kohen thought he's going to eat it in 5 days. Ma'aser, Issachar. I didn't even eat that. No, big deal. No one in this room ever ate pigul. So what does it mean? We have to understand. Oh, he didn't become tameh. Of course he didn't become tameh. The pshat is, I didn't think about things I shouldn't think, so I shouldn't become a balkari at night. So Taisus says over here, isn't that something everybody should be careful with? You're right, you should be careful. But nobody could say that they weren't over on this. These are things that people are nichshal all the time. He says, no, I never had an issue. What does that mean? So that's our halacha right here. I never ate from a mesukenes. Kois means fast, shecht, before it dies. Let's get a shechita here. Like, I don't know who would want to eat from that meat, but, hey, meat is meat. So here you see, so why is he telling the Rebbeinu Shalom, I never ate a mesukenes? The pshat is, because everybody's allowed to eat a mesukenes. If everybody's not allowed to eat a mesukenes, why would he say, I never ate a mesukenes? It's not a chiddush. He's a cheskel. The pshat is, you are allowed to eat a mesukenes, and he was machmir not to eat it. What does it mean I didn't eat pigul? Oh, I didn't eat from an animal that had a shayla. It means even though I'm a kohen and chaval, we didn't take a picture of the matnes kuna, and I could have given it at least a kohen. I found out at least a kohen that doesn't care. I don't know if there was anybody in the audience that doesn't care to eat that. It could have been people. What? No. According to Sfaradim, it was no good. According to the Ramah, there's a way to make it kosher. Okay. Oh, sorry. So I didn't eat from an animal that I didn't give matanas, even though I'm a kohen. If you say mesukenes is mutter to eat and rebusa di cheskel. That's why he was telling the Rebbeinu Shalom, I could have eaten a mesukenes and I never ate a mesukenes. My rebusa di cheskel. But if it's also, so you see from here that mesukenes is mutter. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDY.com.